This is such a moving short from China concerning people in a small rural village who are relocating because the government is building a hydropower station there, per a radio voice you hear during the action. The interviews with the locals are so heartfelt. At first, some are very resistant to sign the papers and to leave. They will be receiving some financial support to do so, but they feel torn. They've been there for many years, and their community and their Buddhism is very, very important to them. The sounds and images of the film are very close to the action, recording everything in the neighborhood, the traffic, the children, the roosters, the people eating. You really feel for the people who have very little power, having to uproot their lives. Excellent film.
There's a lot to be appreciated in this piece. This documentary focuses on displacement. That's kind of the undercurrent, I believe, that runs through it all. Having to leave a place that has been your home for so long. And just the difficulties of living life in general, taking care of your children, ensuring that they have everything they need, that they're doing everything they're supposed to do, taking care of your fellow loved ones, your spouse, whoever it might be. There's a lot of love here, and it's in these kind of quiet, everyday, mundane moments. There's a lot of stylistic beauty as well. I think a lot of great use of shadow. Some forget that documentaries can still have these kind of stylistic choices to them. They can, and this one very much does. So altogether, it's quite a moving piece.
This was really, really interesting because you got the kind of point and like why everything was happening at the very, very beginning with the kind of radio blurb or radio message of this like energy. They kept calling them like pylon cables, but like whatever it was that was going to bring all of this, energy and electricity to all these people, and what it could replace, and like how it was I think in a very generalized sense, a good move, or that's obviously what the radio broadcast was trying to portray anyway. And then beyond that, you really just stayed with the people themselves that were being negatively affected by this, that were being forced out of their homes, that were either paid to leave and still had to relocate and start over, or who didn't take the money because of principle and were being forced to leave because their homes were demolished anyway. And I thought it was such an interesting way to tell a story of, they gave us the context at the very beginning just with the quick little radio blurb, and then you truly did just stay with the people who were a part of this community, who had been a part of the community for a long time, who were having to deal with this now. And I thought it was really, really interesting.
Very good, very interesting, very informative documentary. I had not seen a lot of this community before. We don't see this sort of depiction in media here in America a lot. So it was very interested in seeing these folks and in what they're having to deal with. We got into their lives and we're seeing them with their families, and we're seeing that everybody everywhere is the same. Everybody has the same sort of troubles. Everybody has the same sort of dealings with family and with the society around them. So, it was interesting to see these folks having to deal with such a tough choice. And then we got conflict within families, and then, they're clashing with local government and whatnot. And at the same time, life is going on, and people are like, I'm staying here. The one woman who said, I've lived here since I was 56. I'm almost 100 now. That was very striking to hear. It was a good moment to end on. This is very well done. It was very well paced and edited, directed. Good use of score. Everybody on camera did such a wonderful job in communicating with us. So it was a really nice piece. I hope things go well for the folks in this area, and I hope this piece gets seen. This was very good.
This was really interesting. I enjoyed watching this, and I thought that it was shot well. I liked the cinematography, getting a chance to see all sorts of different areas of this village. It surprised me that there wasn't a narrative. I was kind of hoping for a narrative to find out a little bit more, to have it be solidified what exactly was happening. I understand that they were doing a project, that they were putting a hydropower plant there, and that a lot of people had to move, but I think I still wanted some sort of a narrative to kind of guide me through the images that I was seeing. I really loved the healer at the temple, and as she was healing the little boy, getting to watch that, I found it really interesting. Listening to each of the residents, the people who were leaving and why they were leaving and how they were, paid to go ahead and they were being relocated. I thought that was pretty wild. And also the people who were choosing to stay and for the reasons that they were choosing to stay as well. This is another one of those ones that I wanted to see a follow-up to see what had happened and how everything was, and if the people who stayed were able to stay, or if they eventually did leave to be relocated.
I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was, cinematography was beautiful, some great shots. It was really moving, super interesting, and there's just so many great filmmaking aspects to it. I think to me, what really stood out was like the music it was really perfect for the film, and especially the end. Those final shots, I just was really moved by, and especially with that music, I felt like really elevated the image. So, yeah, great job.